Hello everyone, this is Charles Walhingford. I'm here at the Hilton Doubletree by Hilton. I was just checking in with you guys. I'm going to tell you about my dinner at Patsy's Italian restaurant, and give you a rundown on what I ate and how I liked it and everything else. So starting off, Patsy's is a old school Italian restaurant. One of those restaurants you really get to feel the old feel of, you feel like you're going back in time slightly. Okay, let's talk about the food. First thing they bring out, like any good restaurant, they bring out the bread. Now the bread was good, but I wish it was warm. If they had warm bread, it would have been just outstanding. But the bread was fresh, so that was still good. I chose an appetizer of Clams Casino. Now the Clams Casino was absolutely wonderful. It is, if you're not familiar and if you're Muslim or Jewish, you don't want to mess with this. This is shellfish, clams, and bacon, pork on top. Bacon on top of the clam, and it's also, you also have pimento in there too. Oh, very good. And the bacon was cooked perfectly. It was just perfect amount of crisp, and it was. A lot of times you have a very variable of cooking bacon. Either it's going to be too crisp and not very meaty, or too, they try to get it too meaty textured, and it is be flimsy and wiggly. It was absolutely perfect. So the Clams Casino, top notch. Next up was my main event, the entree. I had cannelloni. The cannelloni was a way I have never had it before. It actually had, if you're not familiar with cannelloni, let me back up a little bit. Manicotti is cheese. So I had cannelloni, which was meat filled with a meat sauce. Now this one would have been a little bit too rich, too meaty, or what have you. I know what you're thinking, how can it be too meaty? It almost was. It absolutely almost was. But what saved it was the pasta was actually a spinach pasta. Anytime it was, that spinach needed to be there, it was right there, and it paired very nicely. I like my perfect pairings. That was the perfect pairing. So that's great points for that one. So I ended my meal with nothing. I did not decide to have dessert there. I'm having dessert right now. If you probably can't see this, I got you a good picture before I got dug into it. But this is a fresh Napoleon. I have never had a fresh Napoleon. I've had Napoleons that were made maybe a day ahead, or further than that, and I still like it, but it gets a little moist, and it's not as crisp. This is crisp, so it's fresh. I never had it that way, and I do like it. And that freshness is outstanding. The cream that goes in the middle of the Napoleon, perfectly well balanced, not too sweet, great. All in all, I had a great time at Patsy's. I highly recommend it. Go, if you're in New York and you're spending some time there, you have to go down to Patsy's. Check it out. Enjoy yourself. If I could say anything that I did not like about it, was the fact that I ate by myself. I would like to enjoy this wonderful meal with someone. Now, as far as price goes, it's moderate. It's not cheap. It won't break you completely. And don't forget, by New York standards, it was definitely moderate. So when you come to New York, prepare to spend some money. You can't go to McDonald's and not spend a lot of money in New York. So that's another thing to think about. My meal costs a little bit over $50, and like I said, in New York, you're going to pay a lot of money. Not to say anything bad about TGI Fridays. A couple years ago, I came down here thinking I'm going to save money. I spent over $100 in TGI Fridays, and I didn't get all that. I mean, that many things. It wasn't that special of a meal. I didn't have drinks and appetizers and everything like that. So keep those things in mind too. I'm Charles Walhingford. This is how I spent my money during Watch Week on food.